Hello.
Hey,
Hi. How are you today? How was your weekend?
it was good. How's yours?
Nice and quiet. Nice and quiet.
Always good.
Yes. Got lots of rest on Saturday and then prepared for the week ahead on Sunday.
God, are you cooking?
Well, it's just me and my mom, so paring it down a little bit, but
Mm-hmm.
it because we're like immigrants, I don't know. Thanksgiving isn't really our holiday. We're thankful that we're
Oh,
here, but
right.
the pilgrims and the engines and all that isn't our stick. The shopping is, but the
Mm-hmm.
actual Thanksgiving
Got it.
day, other than being thankful every day, it's just another holiday.
No, I got you.
Yeah. So what about you? What are you and your family up to?
They will probably cook. I don't like cooking because you have to watch stuff. Mm-mm,
Oh, so you
not for
don't
me.
even do wash up duty afterwards?
Oh, we use paper plates. What you talking about?
Oh my God. Really?
Really? Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
So you don't want the cleanup at all. So are y'all
No,
are y'all getting together like the whole family, or is it just going to be like who's in the house? Are y'all paring down due to COVID?
probably whoever in the house.
Okay. Makes sense. You got to be safe
I mean,
nowadays.
my family hasn't really cooked since all the grandkids got grown.
Oh,
So
okay.
this stopped like years ago.
Wow.
When we were little, it was
Mhm.
full out. We're talking the dinners would be so huge that everyone could take food home for the next 3 days. Every family.
What?
hmm
And did you have like a separate table for the kids?
when we were younger, yes,
Oh, wow.
there was a kids table. So Ebony has a good question. What
Mhm.
holidays in Barbados do you guys celebrate?
Christmas, Easter. We have our big festival, crop over first Monday in August,
Mm.
which is typically Emancipation Day
Okay.
for a lot of other Caribbean islands. We do Whit Monday, we do Boxing Day,
Oh,
all of the like British holidays plus a few new
got it.
holidays thrown in. Yeah,
Do you
but
have a
yeah.
favorite outside of Christmas?
Um, I do like the crop over season because it's like 2 months of parties. Then it culminates in a big Brugadum Bram like carnival. You can do
Mm.
costumes and you dance down the streets. You go through the stadium, you're
hmm
judged, and then you parade in your costumes with your band down the streets for a few miles, and you wind up down in Brighton. At least that's the route that I took when I participated decades ago. But it's a rite of passage. It's something that all Barbadians should take part of in
Okay.
at least once in their life, to say that they jumped in a band and woke up with strangers
Oh, okay. I guess.
and drink until you pass out. And yeah, it's fun.
Nice. So we
Yeah.
want. So how would you? So I guess we can just jump right on in. Like,
Yeah.
how
Mhm.
would you rate this episode? 1 to 10.
The beginning part of 4. But then once they got to the dominatrix party, which I wanted to see, and it started spicing up, I give it like a 6.5.
Okay, we're in the same ballpark. I was like at like a 7, like barely a 7. I was just like, can we get to the good stuff? Can we get to the good parts? I mean, we already know what happened at the pool. Ashley told them. I like that they went to like even when they went to the springs or whatever. Even that wasn't exciting. I was just like, oh.
Hold on one second. Gina Maxey, there are two great award-winning rums in Barbados, Cockspur and Mount Gay. Mount Gay, I believe, has the most awards, but they're the top rums out of Barbados. Sorry about that. Yeah.
No.
The beginning part. Oh, and I was right about their holidays. They stay there for 4 nights. So if they go in on a Sunday and leave on a Thursday, they can get the cheaper rates
Oh,
because they're staying
okay.
midweek. That's why they
Right.
got those suites, and it frees up the weekend so that the hotel can charge real rates for their rooms. So that whole trip now makes more sense to me. I loved going to the bar on the motorcycles with the sidecars. Like, they did a lot of good sightseeing stuff. Every night they went out to dinner at a picturesque restaurant. Like, I want to go to Portugal, but I also was kind of over Portugal because I wanted to get to the fetish nights.
Oh, how
Mhm.
do we want to start there? Because they weren't doing it for me. I was like, Giselle. I'm like, the the corset wasn't tight enough. If you gonna wear it, needs to be tight. You could tell where it was not tightened all the way.
I couldn't understand why she couldn't bend down though. Why she couldn't bend down to pick up that thing that fell on the floor? I didn't think that corset was that tight.
It wasn't. And then if you're gonna be sexy dominatrix, I've not seen dominatrixes on TV with buns. I just haven't. I'm just saying. She was giving me like dominatrix librarian. I'm like, no.
Oh God.
I don't know what Ashley had on. I mean,
Ashley,
mm-mm.
I expected better from her, from someone who's so
Much better.
sexually adventurous. Like, I expected a lot more from her. I expected her to look better than Giselle, quite honestly.
Well, hey, Ebony Dix said, I really don't like that Monique didn't go on the trip and film with the ladies that would film with her. Yeah, it was disappointing without her, but after the situation, she just chose not to film.
And they were also saying that they didn't want to film with her. Let's be honest.
It was her choice. I can
Right, but the Green
no,
Eye Bandits were
it was
having a campaign, and I agree with her not doing it. I think
it was
that
okay.
was under
So
good advisement from her lawyer as well.
to give you context,
Mm-hmm.
she decided not to go. Everyone wants to play this narrative
Mm-hmm.
like it was their choice. No, she decided not to go based on a couple of people I've talked to, more than one. After the whole thing went down, Monique wanted to walk off and quit. She was trying to get out of her contract. So this had nothing to
Mm-hmm.
do with the other lady. That's what everyone wants to believe where they're pointing it. She wanted out of her contract. She was trying to figure out how to get out of her contract. Andy Cohen had to talk her into staying on the show.
Oh
He's
wow.
like, how do you want to play this? But not that's not out there.
Well,
So it
now
wasn't.
it is.
So yeah, if you I'm not sure if I can get it right now, but oh, let me see if I can find it. Give me one moment. Oh.
Yay, Pearl! Tomorrow we're doing Mama's Boy. What are you
Excuse
looking
me.
at?
Okay, so let me make sure this is the right article. So Monica put this out from
Mm-hmm.
All About Tea put this out a couple months before. I just want to make sure this is the right um article because I asked her about this because she's one of the people. She's one of the people I go to. One or two others, and I said, hey, did Monique was Monique banned or would she just choose not to go? She's like, she chose not to go. And then she sent me the article that came out before the season started. Like it was an exclusive article. That's what I'm trying to find it. My apologies, everybody. I just wanted to make sure I'm sending you the right thing.
But that's good that she made that choice. I'm disappointed that
Yes,
she almost left the show because of it.
I think this is the
Um,
right. I think this is the right article. So I'm gonna put the link in. Okay, I think this is the right one. My apologies, guys. I'm so sorry. I just want to make sure I have the right article. This looks like it's the right one.
Cooch La Cream. I love
There
that
we go.
name.
And this article came out July 7th of this year.
Okay. Look at you doing all the research.
Well, I remember seeing something. I can't remember where I saw it or where I read, but I remember it was a big deal. People were talking about it, and there were people who were saying that, oh, Monique got banned. They wanted her to go. And this was like the majority of people. Then you had a
Mm-hmm.
smaller group of people saying, like, well, no, she was trying to get out of her contract. She didn't want to go.
Mm-hmm.
Why would she? So there's the article.
Okay. All right.
But
So, what were the highlights for you in this episode?
when Ashley was unbothered. I'm
Oh, you mean
sorry.
when she walked out?
Yeah, when she's like, look, this is what it is. This is how I felt. This is why I did it. I was concerned for my friend. And she wasn't gonna let anyone sway her off of her stance.
Yeah.
I would have liked her to just say, you know what, Candace, let's call a thing a thing. We're not friends. And leave it and just leave it there.
Well, what's done is done.
Right.
You know, she did it. She had her reasons for doing it. I don't like that. I think it was Robin who said, "Are you going to tell them that it was revenge?" Like that is not what she told you at the pool. That's what
Mm-hmm.
you said to her.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just don't like how the Green Eye Bandits try to manipulate things, and it seems like Karen is immune to it now. And Ashley is learning how to be immune to it. But there's a whole manipulation overtone on this show that I'm really not digging. Just
But
not digging at all.
but we kind of knew this before the season started
Yeah, but it's
because.
overt now. It's overt.
But did you see the articles that came out before the season even started? Like, think about the way I look at it is this. I definitely agree with you, but I look at it this way. Think about all the information that came out before the season started. That was a red flag right there, at least for me.
Mm-hmm.
Of like how like literally like they're trying to produce like Giselle, Rob, and Candace are trying to play this narrative out, plotting against Monique, doing X, Y, and Z. You could just tell. And then when Karen came out and said like, "Hey, like you guys are going to see a lot of things this season. Just be aware." And she said she was over Giselle. And this is
Mm-hmm.
before the season started, before it even came out.
Hmm. That's an interesting thought. Okay, so what else stood out for you?
Probably Karen started another business with a wig line, which makes complete sense to me. Good
Uh-huh.
job.
Uh-huh.
People, something people will use and buy. It's needed. So great job to her. But the fact that they didn't support her was annoying.
But not surprising.
But not surprising. It was just
Yeah.
annoying. I mean, Giselle, your business is no longer in business. If anything, you should be trying to like ask Karen for a job in the off season to get some more money. I mean, I'm just saying.
Oh my God.
I mean, y'all can all model her product, especially Robin, because Robin can never pick the right wig. Now she got some place to go, maybe a wholesale, something.
I'm surprised she didn't show up in that beat up wig for Dominatrix night.
Yeah, I guess she retired, Tatiana. She wasn't working.
Oh Jesus. Did you also find it odd how much trouble Giselle had describing her relationship with Jamal? Like it was it in a confessional? She was just stumbling and bumbling over that. It was just very weird.
It was
Which
weird. Go ahead, go ahead.
though it just reinforces to me like if you can't describe your relationship, you're really not in one.
Exactly. That's I'm at the same point. I'm like, you can't even explain your relationship in like under 5 minutes. Okay.
And then what did you think about Robin sending nudie selfies to Juan? I
I
didn't
mean,
think he was that interested.
yeah, I wasn't gonna put it like that, but since you said it, I'll agree with you. I mean,
Okay.
here's my thing. it doesn't seem like he's too interested in person. So I don't think a photo is going to do anything more.
Okay. One last thing I wanted to bring up with you, because I highlighted certain parts of the show. Candace,
Mm-hmm.
she said that she is still on medication in the
She's on.
aftermath,
Yeah, she says she's on anxiety
anxiety medication.
medication for what happened for the due to the circumstance, the incident, and she like she either she wakes up or she lays there wondering like what Monique's gonna do next. I'm like, okay, I can't now.
Oh, she really did say that second part. Okay.
Oh yeah, she did.
I missed that. Um, I guess she's never been in a girl fight before. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you've never been in a fight, I guess it it could trigger some things. But with her, I
Yeah.
think what we're struggling with is with her, we just don't like her, and
Um,
she continues to exhibit the same behavior that she always exhibits. Had she just sat back, not said nothing, and just worked through it, I think people would have been more on her side
okay.
because she
Okay.
keeps talking, she keeps running her mouth, she says she was not at fault, but you keep doing exhibit the same behavior that got you behind whooped in the first place. You would think you would sit back, be easy, and take in the sympathy and let people be on your side. But since you keep exhibiting the same behavior and sometimes worse, people are like, you just don't get it.
Okay. And after Ashley told her at the fetish party about, her writing this statement,
Mhm.
what did you think of Wendy's rebuttal? Because it was almost like she was an attorney. Like, she gave the most coherent argument, but I'm wondering why she's always jumping into this situation because she's new. She wasn't there in previous seasons. Like, I find it hard for her blind defense of Candace.
Her husband's a lawyer, so he prepped her.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Oh.
no one in real life uses character witness statement out of nowhere. That's just not something you
Mm.
use. You're like, oh, so you're making a. Most of us just say, oh, you're writing a statement and leave it at that. But she went to technical terms. Like, yeah, your husband prepped you. Supposedly Candace was her vehicle into the show, so she's going to kind of stick up for her friend, but she just looks dumb. Like she's like she's playing double dutch. Just waiting for
Mm-hmm.
the right moment to jump in. That's not working for you. You don't know the
Okay.
history. With her, she doesn't, like you say, she's new, doesn't know the history. So when you're new and don't know the history of all the ladies in your life, you kind of just sit back and be quiet.
And what did you think about Karen saying, dropping the little bomb that she knows things that were happening behind the scenes that the rest of them don't, and she's referencing the witness statement that Candace gave of her account of events.
Oops.
Oops,
Can you hear
you
me?
there? Yeah, I can hear
Okay.
you. Mhm.
Sorry, I thought I had my phone do not disturb. My apologies. Yeah, it was interesting. She just kind of dropped that bomb, like, "Well, I know this, y'all don't." It's like, okay. I'm like, "You're not gonna say?"
But she never said what she knew.
Mm-mm.
It's
No.
Bravo who did the highlighted text
Right.
of the statement, which
Mm-hmm.
like lets us in, but the other ladies aren't, which is very interesting.
Mm-hmm. And it's
See,
interesting. Go ahead.
this is why I go back to what I said when we originally talked about this. It was one of our first deep dives, and I said I want to see every single angle of this altercation because I can't make a judgment. Like the
Mm-hmm.
one that we were shown on television during the episodes was carefully spliced together
Yes.
so that it was very confusing.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see every angle because it took forever for us to realize that Giselle's hand was the one that pushed her. I
Right.
know I saw a glass go, but I couldn't figure out where Wendy's hand was playing in that. Like it
Mm-hmm.
was so confusing. And I don't think that's fair because then you lead to all of these people setting up teams and all of that. And it doesn't let us understand why the judge dismissed both cases, saying they were both at fault, basically, or they both played a role in what happened. What do you
Right.
think?
I like the banter in the chat. Everyone's making
Mhm.
good points. They sensationalized it, so they showed um what they wanted you to see, which is what good producers do, but
Mhm.
they want you to draw your own conclusions, and it has to be polarizing, which is exactly what they did. It's just now we're starting to see everything come out. Like now it's like, okay, so this happened, this caused this. It's like, okay, now I most people see a little different. I don't. I just feel
Mhm.
that I'm just basing on where I come from. That your mouth can get you behind what? Period. Point blank. When people say, back up, stop talking, blah blah blah, that's a general warning. But the moment you keep going and you come forward, it's a wrap. You gonna get what you gonna get. And then I also noticed that no one also brings up the fact that no one told Candace like, hey Candace, just stop it, calm it down a little bit, be quiet. Same thing with Monique. Monique, boo cans, calm down. Like no one really separated them, which is now I had to go back and watch. Like y'all really didn't separate them, but Giselle said that, well, we never thought it would get this far. Like, well, it was building. You can kind of see that tension. Like, if we can feel it through the screen, how come you can't feel it in person?
Well, editing
Okay.
and dramatic music in the background.
Shut up.
Um,
Not dramatic music in the background.
you don't know what audio they're overlaying to make something
Okay.
sound hyped up. Because
Fair.
at this point, I don't believe anything that these producers put on the screen. I think they over exaggerate a lot of stuff. But again, this has been simmering for 2 seasons because
Yes.
last season Monique was pregnant. Was that the
Mm-hmm.
season she was pregnant? And it was happening from that season. Um, so I don't know if they were very comfortable saying that they would never take it to a physical level, and that's why they assumed that it would never happen. But you know what your mom says about assuming.
Right.
Um, when you give, I'm sorry to say this, but Candace is one of those individuals that when you give her an inch, she takes 5 yards.
Mm-hmm.
And you always have to be careful with people like that because they're unpredictable. I think what they discounted was the unpredictability of Monique's reaction.
Right. But my thing, based on history, Monique already told her she would drag her, and the only reason why she did not drag her then and there is because she was pregnant. That is a big, big first sign. And Monique wasn't playing while she was pregnant. You could see that she was not playing with this girl, but she wasn't going to injure her baby.
Mm-hmm.
So Monique again asked you the same question: "You want me to drag you?" Or Ken's like, "Drag me, Monique? You gonna drag me?" And you got your answer. You
But
got your answer. And
all
then
right, both of them were wrong. I'll agree that
no,
both, yeah,
both
both of them are wrong. Um, but I do
definitely.
agree with you when you say you have to be careful with your words. Words matter. Words matter. And we don't always know what's going on in the head of someone else. So you do have to be careful of how you verbalize. Because I'm sure in Candace's head, she thought she was being cute, but
Hmm.
we don't know which one of those cute words was the one that snapped
Right.
for for her, meaning Monique.
Hmm.
Um, or was it that push that
It
she
was.
got?
I think this has been a couple seasons of built up tension between those two. They never.
I don't think they ever resolved their issues. What
Okay.
happened at the reunion last year, I don't even think that was a band-aid. Hi, Black Lavender. I I don't think these people know how to communicate. I don't think they know how to have proper conflict resolution, and I think Bravo uses that to their advantage. Oh dear.
I think part of the go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
I think part of the problem is this. So I'm not sure if you heard this. Was it all about the tea or was it Richie Skies? So basically, what happened is they were in a really really bad place at the reunion. Terrible
Mm-hmm.
place. Bravo had to literally make them come together. Literally, they had to sit both couples down. Like, look, we need you guys to come to some sort of resolution agreement, whatever. They did not want to do it. They were forced to. So when it's like when your parents make you make up with your siblings, in a way, I
Mm-hmm.
guess. You don't want to do it. But when someone makes you do it and you don't want to do it, it kind of makes you even more resentful. So I think
Right.
this is part of the problem. Bravo tried instead of Bravo letting them play it out on the camera, they were trying to force them to get along, and
But
it backfired.
exactly, because without bringing in some sort of professional mediator to help sort
Mm-hmm.
that out to everybody's satisfaction, it was bound to fail.
Yep.
We have your favorite counterpoint in the back room. Do you want me to bring her up?
Bring it.
Oh, and we've got Angela too. Okay, so let's welcome Ablavi and Angela. Oh
Hi.
dear. Hi, how you
Hey,
doing?
Good.
What are your thoughts on the show, Angela?
I think that Monique was in the right and Candace was in the wrong. Um, I don't think Monique should be punished for hitting Candace because I would do it too.
Well, hitting people's not right. And Monique
Um,
hit her first.
um,
I think they're both wrong. They're both wrong. Um, you know, have I picked a side? Yeah, I like Monique, but I
yeah.
could also call a spade a spade. Um,
Um, you can see how Candace would bring that out in somebody.
mhm, you can, but you also have to be able to control your actions too, so that you don't wind up in a situation
I
like
know
this.
you're right.
Yeah.
I know
Hi,
you're right. But
Gatatua. Hi, Pearl.
Hey guys.
Hi.
Hello, everyone.
Ablavi. What do you think?
I'm gonna be honest. This show needs to be canceled because we've been over this for the past seems like 6 or 7 weeks. I watched the episode of the fight, then the recent episode. First, we have to talk about these trips. Portugal? Why are you going to Portugal for and not living in a castle? This is this low budget thing with this show. I don't got time for that. Again, I paid to see rich woman, not broke woman who flexing and flaunting on the camera. Monique is wrong because she knows Candace can't fight. You don't sit here and mollywop somebody you know that can't throw hands. Candace needs to watch her mouth because I think Candace needs just a few weeks on Love and Hip Hop, and then she will learn to watch her mouth a little bit more. Because that mouth of hers, it ain't for me. She moves it too quickly, and it's it. I guess I know she's attacked, but like I don't understand why people on this show aren't grimy and savages. Because I would be a savage the way that your mother pays for your household, and you gonna check me? Never. And then also Wendy, I really wanted to like Wendy, but I find her to be so irritating, and it's because of this baby storyline. I do not want to hear about children all the time. If you either get help or move it on, I think they need to throw out the whole. Oh, we forgot about Tacky Giselle. If they don't get those She by Sheree clothes off of her body and that shake and go wig off her head, I don't know what I'm going to do. Giselle, it's time to buy a new wig. It is time. And then Karen. Karen is kind of shady though because I don't really know what they have on Karen, but they have something the way she's all like I wouldn't say she's trying to pick sides, but she's definitely not trying to upset Candace. And I don't understand why. It is what it is. And then we got Robin. She need to stop playing games with her and Juan. I don't believe they got no type of relationship. But if you want to keep lying, have at it. Because he was looking at that text like that was hilarious. I just think that this show needs a better crew. This is boring. We have been watching. This is the problem with Bravo, and this is why I'm not going to watch Atlanta. I am tired of a storyline taking half the season. Make this 3 episodes, move on, get some more interesting woman. You in that you're in that District of Columbia, Maryland, Virginia area. You can get better woman. I'm sorry. You can go.
Oh dear. Gatatua, welcome. What are your thoughts?
Hi everyone.
Hi.
Hi.
We were going back and forth with Paul on the chat, and I don't think Ashley is wrong to write a declaration of her of what she thinks of Candice, because she can only write what she has experienced, right? So when you're called when you're deposed, you can only write on the character of the person who's being sued. You cannot write on the character of Monique, because you trying to defend Monique as a nice person is not defense. You trying to show the other person who is Candice is used to doing these things is what is needed for Monique to not go to jail. I am not saying that she was right to beat up the poor girl, but also the poor girl was also not right to use her mouth when she cannot use her hands. Because not everyone can fight. Like, for instance, myself, I do not know how to fight verbally. So I might end up physically beating someone because I cannot match up the verbal confrontation. Yeah. So I feel we need, first of all, if this fight didn't happen, I don't even think we'd have something to talk about this whole entire season. So we need, and then the other thing also, Candice and her mouth. She needs to find someone to tell her mouth will keep getting her into trouble, that she might not be able to pull herself out of it. Because if you remember, and I don't know if you watched it, but I think Bravo pulled down that video where she was she called Ashley the C word in the confessions when she was told when Ashley told her that she had written the declaration against her. Now, for Wendy, I feel she's a bit too much. Yes, this is your friend. I do not dispute that. You're supposed to be a ride or die for your friend in public. If you're my friend, even if I know you're the one who's in the wrong, I will be there for you. However, when we are in private, or even when we are doing the confessions, I would like to tell you, I don't think you're right. I don't think you should talk to someone like that. I don't think you should use such vulgar language. Because she was here telling us how she's done the degrees for us Africans, all us Black people, for Black power and everything. If you're standing for Black power and everything, you cannot also be standing for someone who is using vulgar language. That it doesn't make sense to me. Like, she needs to make it make sense. You can be a ride or die, but also be sane in your mind and tell her that is not proper language to be used by a proper lady. So you cannot be bougetto like that. You cannot be bougie one minute and ghetto the next minute. It doesn't work. That's what I think. So I think she needs to tone down and tell her friend the truth. And then if Candice had proper legal advice, she would have known she can be countersued. It's one of the things. And that's why she should have used her head and said, maybe we settle this through mediation or arbitration, out of court settlement. Let her pay for my therapy if I feel like I have mental issues because of the fight, or let her pay for my vacation somewhere if I feel some type of way. Rather than having to say, I want the full extent of the law, because when the law is looking at the fight, it will not only look at that one fight, it will look at what incidences led to the fight and what happened post the fight. So And then there's someone who's writing, who has been deposed to write something about your character, and it's showing you're not really a good person, then it becomes a bit hard for the law to say, oh, yeah, you're the victim and she's a villain, so she needs
Mhm.
to pay you for that. And same thing with Monique. You cannot just beat someone and then later are following her out of the of the lake house, whatever thing, and then you still want to fight her and you're saying, I'm going to kill you, and you expect the law to be on your side. So both of them were wrong. And if you were to dissect the video from the point of view, from a legal point of view, you would see it's not just the two of them who were wrong. Candice had a knife. Wendy took it out from her hand. Giselle pushed Monique. No one spoke about that. So it becomes there's so many aspects of it. If everyone was to go to court about this one fight, then we would have about 4 people who are going to be deposed to give their character evidence. And Robin and Giselle had a right to also do a character declaration for Candice against Monique if they wanted. Just saying. Those are my opinions.
Oh, very good, Gatatua. See? Okay. Pearl, Miss Pearl, how are you today?
Hey, Debbie. I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good. Well, what were your impressions from this last episode?
I haven't seen the last 4 episodes. I'm so
Oh.
bored with Potomac. I'm not even playing.
Oh
I honestly have. I keep saying I'm gonna watch it, but I've been like catching up on Cheshire, and I'm loving it. But
no.
anyway,
Oh.
okay. This fight again.
Yeah.
We're still talking about the fight. Okay.
There we are.
Well, I don't think Ashley is one to give anyone character witness. She has no character whatsoever. Like
Mhm.
I don't like Ashley one bit
Mhm.
because she may claim that she's turned a new leaf, but I know the Ashley of old is still around. The messy, nasty, rude. I mean, I've said this before. She's gone after everybody's relationship. She's done some really like below the belt things to Karen, to Robin, to everybody, even to Monique. So I don't trust her one bit. If you're going to use her for your character witness, well, good luck to you. But I'm not going to, I'll take anything Ashley says with a grain of salt. Now, let's talk about this fight because people keep talking about Giselle's hand.
Mhm.
If you watch the video again, right, people were just kind of standing back when Monique and Candice were going at it. They both were yelling. They both were being dramatic. They both had their hands in each other's face. It was not one-sided. They were both par
Mhm.
par and par. They were both there together. They both were running their mouths together. But the point when Monique started flipping Candice's hair, that's
Mhm.
when people were like, oh, shish, this stuff is about to blow up. Okay. That's when Giselle pushed her to kind of tell her to back off, to tell Monique to back off, because that was the point that Giselle's hand went on her. That was the point that Wendy came out from behind the corner to put her hands to block, in between Monique and Candice to say, okay, this is going too far. That's the point that Karen came closer to Monique. The only person that stood still was Robin.
Mhm.
Everybody else kind of changed position that, oh, okay, this is getting serious now. This is turning physical. And that's why Giselle had, in people, all this theory about, oh, Giselle put her hand on Monique's chest so that Monique would think it was Candace. I mean, I don't think you can plot something so ridiculous. If you see two people fighting, you kind of want to like separate them. And I think that's what everyone's mind was. I don't think anyone was planning where to put their hands. I'm not going to I'm going to put my hand on your chest so that you think. I think people were just like, okay, everyone reacted at that point. Everybody reacted. Nobody knows how. I don't know how I would react if I was in the room as well. And that's all that was, in my opinion. So we can look at the video over and over, but I don't think anyone's actions was intentional.
Mhm.
I think everybody was just trying to stop the situation because they could all see where it was going. Yes, Candace had a knife in her hands, but she was, trying to make a toast like you do with a knife and a wine glass. And,
Mhm.
when you took the knife away from her, because of her episode, 2 seasons ago when, she had a knife thing with Ashley, and that was just like a joke, but she wasn't going to use that knife on anybody. So she was just trying to give a little drunk speech about how she loves Monique. And as for Monique, Monique definitely, I'm sure this is not the first person Monique has whooped in her life. I'm sure she's whooped a lot of people. She sounds like she's whooped a lot of people. And Giselle was spot on when she said Monique has been threatening to beat somebody since she stepped on the show. And it's the fact. When she said, oh, I'm going to beat you, I'm going to whip you when I'm pregnant. She's been using that sort of, the whole, I think that the reason why she went ahead with Candace is because Candace is the weakest link in that group. Candace just is the one person that she could take on. Because I think that when she had that umbrella to Robin's neck, she really wanted to beat her up then. But then when you look at Robin's size and the fact that she works out so much, I don't think Monique is going to be able to beat down Robin. So I think she backed down there. But Candace is weak. She took on Candace. She got it out of her system. And at the end of the day, if Candace's consequences for running her mouth is getting a whooping, then Monique's consequence for giving a whooping should be going to jail. I think that too many people have gotten away with beating people up. I mean, if Portia had gone to jail for beating up Kenya, then maybe Monique would have thought twice. So like, you know what, that girl in Atlanta went to jail for a couple of days. I might just back away. But the more people keep getting away with it, the more we are normalizing that behavior and making it more acceptable. Because the more people get away with it, the more you set a precedent that everyone should get away with it. So somewhere along the line, you have to draw that line and say, this is not acceptable behavior. And that's all I have to say about
Mm.
that, really.
Those are some good points, Pearl. I wonder when Bravo's going to draw that line.
I want to go back to Ashley and talk about Ashley and her defending Monique. I think Monique knows about Ashley and Michael's relationship, and in order to satisfy and have, because if you look at this season, Ashley should be fired. She's brought nothing but babies. This is like Eva part 2. And I think that she knows about Michael Derby and his free love of everybody. And I think she was paying for her to shut her mouth. That's what I
But
think.
didn't Ashley say that she told Monique a while ago and Monique never said anything?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm really not concerned that much with Ashley giving a statement, though. I mean, I just think it's typical for her messy character to do so. Do I think that she feels like she owes Monique, like, you scratch my back, I scratch yours? I don't think Ashley even operates by those rules because she's still the selfish little girl that she has been seasons 1 through 4.
I like
You know?
Ashley. I like Ashley this season. I think she's grown up a lot, and I think that I commend her for giving the statement. I think she did it from the heart.
I
Um,
don't know.
I do not have a problem with Ashley giving a statement because you see, I can look at it from a perspective of it's her way of getting back at Candice because she was never able to do it previously. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but and then the other thing about what Pal has said that Bravo has to draw the line somewhere where one person gets away with something and another one gets away with something else. What you need to understand is when you're on a show, when you start going to take legal action against people, you become bad business. And that's what Bravo tries to avoid, and they try to make the people sit down and have a conversation about it and maybe go get over it or not, or fire the person who they need to fire. Because the moment you start going to court, the company itself is also liable. So it can also be enjoined in the suit, and they might lose some money because of that fight. So it becomes a bit tricky, and that's why you'd find most people would be like, we had a fight, but we never took it to the direction of me suing someone or me calling the cops on someone. And even if I did, I withdrew the charges. It's because of that. However, as a company itself, it's upon them to decide, okay, moving forward, if anyone fights, we fire them. If anyone does this, we fire them. But if if you don't have fights, then you don't have a show, because that's kind of the
No,
controversy.
I disagree with that.
Not physical fights. I'm not talking about physical fights, because even verbal fights can make you go get sued for defamation of character. I do not condone physical violence, but also remember, verbal fights can also end up being defamation of character. And if you remember, with Phaedra and Portia against Candy, it was because of that. They were defaming her and making her look like she was about to do some shady things to Portia, and that's why she had to be let go. Because when you open yourself to a certain suit like that, it becomes a bit dangerous for the not only for the housewives, but also for the company itself.
Yeah, and also when Portia attacked Kenya, Portia got demoted to friend of the show. You know, so I think that Monique should get some consequence. I don't think she should be fired because she's not the most boring person on the show. But
But what about
I
Candice and how what?
can we just go back to Candace, because we know that Candace is very immature and she can read you, right? But this season I actually saw her make a lot of effort not to be the same Candace she was in previous seasons. From the first dinner that they all had for Ashley, when they all ganged up against her so bad that even Monique teamed up with Robin and Giselle to gang up against Candace at the dinner table for Ashley. She was like not having it. She's like, "You're not going to bully me into an apology. I will speak to Ashley when the time is right." They turned up in Ashley's baby sip and see. Ashley was the one who actually started the drama again about no, Candace. And Candace got up and left. She didn't run her mouth any of those times. I mean, yeah, she told him to, shut the whatever. But she was actually acting more mature than the rest of them. And I saw her continuously apologizing to when Monique was so ridiculous in her lake house thing when Candace and Giselle wanted to talk to Ashley, and Monique was making it all about herself. Candace was like, "I apologize if I upset you." She kept apologizing. So up until the point of the fight, Candace did not do anything to Monique. Monique, for some reason, just really wanted to take it out on Candace this season. And she really had it in for her for whatever reason. Every single thing Candace did, she attacked her. Every single thing she said, she attacked her. Until it got to the point that she finally beat her up because that's what she's been wanting to do for 2 years. So I don't think that Candace did anything to deserve that. And whatever she did after the beating was a reaction to the fact that she just got beat up. But up to that point, she did not do anything this season at all.
For what I understand, and I've asked a couple of people, this is about the time where Monique found out everything that was going on behind the scenes. But instead of just airing it on the show, Monique let it build up,
And
and
she
that's
took
what
it out
happened.
on the weakest person that she could find. Simple.
When you say found out everything behind the scenes, was this about the rumor about her family?
Yeah, the plotting. Yeah, it all
Okay.
came out during the season, but Monique would
She didn't
not
want to address it.
feed
Right.
into it on camera.
You see, I don't
Right,
like
which I
Bravo
felt
facts.
was, what, if it, me neither. They should just let it all played out and just done the thing, because if had they just done that, I don't think a fight would have never happened. That's just my personal opinion. I could be wrong, but they should just brought it out in the air and just like dealt with it on camera and be like, you know what? I heard you guys were plotting with. I think, okay, let me go back. I think the main reason Bravo didn't let it play out is because production was involved. It was a meeting between some production people, Monique, Candace, and Giselle. That's why I'm guessing that's why Bravo didn't let it play out. That's the only reason I could see them not, because you don't want your producers being looked at as plotting against
But here's my
another
problem with
castmate.
Bravo in this. Monique clearly stated that she did not want to talk about that portion of the show, or the rumor or anything like that. She wanted nothing to do with it. She's not talking about it. She shut it down. Then they cut over to Giselle and said, well, I heard word on the curb or whatever stupidness she says. And she goes and she talks it all out. Now, Bravo she can sit down there and talk all she wants in those confessionals. But then Bravo and their editors and their, they have the final say of what goes into the show and what doesn't. If one of your cast members is saying, I don't want this to be discussed because it's impacting me and my family and a newborn, why would you then allow another cast member and leave to talk about it and then leave that footage in?
Because they wanted to get rid of Monique.
The reason why that, and also if you know, okay, for Bravo's point of view, I can see where you're coming from, but you, as a company, you can't allow one castmate to censor another castmate. Otherwise, you would never have a show.
But this involves a minor.
Exactly.
True, but
so you cannot pick and choose which minors to protect.
I don't know. This was really sensitive,
do
though. I don't even care about the affair portion of the rumor, but the paternity of a child that was just born, like, come on now, that kid is not signed up for this show, and like that can cause strife in that woman's marriage. That if it is not true, what you gonna do then? All for the sake of a show? Somebody has to have some morals.
But it's still it's true. But this is TV. This is reality TV. I think kind of morals at this point have gone out the window. If we're being completely honest, so we can't claim we can't start claiming morality after 15 seasons of OC and countless seasons of Beverly Hills.
But they've never done that. They've never tested the paternity of a baby. That was because that would have been a backlash. That's why they didn't bring it on.
I don't think it was about
Giselle to say it, though, and that's what irks me. They allowed Giselle to verbalize the rumor, and that troubles me deeply because it doesn't look true.
I hope she gets dragged in the reunion, because it seems like everybody on this show is mad at Giselle and they keep taking it out on Candace.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fair point.
Yeah, I agree.
That's a very fair point.
I agree with you, Larry.
I agree with. Go ahead. I agree with Debbie on the point of the paternity of the minor. I'm not saying you're wrong. It's more of the point of this is kind of consistent behavior. It's just a lower level of behavior than what we've seen. If I were a producer completely, I would side with Debbie on this one, and I wouldn't have allowed that confessional to air.
But maybe that's what they wanted. Maybe, when you're talking about Potomac, that's kind of this season is boring without this fight. Maybe they just wanted to have something. I don't know what their contracts are like when you sign up to the show, how much you can say, oh, I don't want to talk about this or that. I don't know what the contracts are like. But when you sign up to a reality TV show, people want to see your reality. And if this is what it is, then perhaps the show is like, we need something, we need a storyline. Exactly. Just like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anyone was pushing about the paternity. I think they were pushing more about the affair between Monique and the trainer. I don't really think anyone was. I don't even think Giselle would go after a child's paternity. I think it was just about the affair, because from season 1 of Potomac, all we've heard about is affairs. We've heard about, Blue Eyes, and everybody has, a trainer, a driver, someone that is being accused of having an affair with someone. I think this was just about Bravo wanting to highlight the affair that Monique so desperately wanted to keep covered up. And I think I'm actually done.
Sorry, bro. Go ahead. Sorry. I was gonna say, like, I agree with you. I think the alleged affair, it was the storyline, but then who brought in the paternity of the baby? Was it Candace or was it
Oh, I
Giselle?
can't remember.
Because that's because the crux of the issue was the
Did
affair with the
Candice say
trainer.
anything?
Then someone, I can't remember if it was Giselle or Candace, because one of the castmates did bring up on the show, like, well, yeah, and like there's a chance that the baby is not even like Chris's. So I think that's where everything
Well,
kind of
here's
just went off the
this little
rails.
blurb. Or accused a woman of having an abortion to conceal the paternity of a child and claims she lied about the miscarriage. Thanks, Carrie Dennis.
Who did
This
that?
Yeah,
this was
someone did it. It was on an episode. I can't remember if it was Candace or it was Giselle. I know it
No,
was on.
no, hang
That
on.
was actually said
Giselle
on the
didn't
show.
actually say it. Giselle said that this was the problem between Charisse and Monique. So it wasn't that Giselle was the one who put the rumor out there. It was Charisse who put the rumor out there through Gigi. So why doesn't Monique go beat up Charisse and Gigi? Why are you beating up Candace? Those are the people that are really attacking your
But
family
why?
here.
But see, but no, Giselle needs to be held accountable too. Because if I don't like you and people are talking about you and it has to deal with your family, I'm not going on with the producer and being messy. I'm going to go to your house. I'm going to say, listen, this is what they're saying. Nip it in the butt. Giselle needs to stop that because if that was her and the messy man she's with, she would have a fit.
But everyone's been talking about the messy man she's
There's
with
a
because even Monique has been saying how she's been using, tithes and offering to fund her lifestyle.
No,
Everybody is messy on the show.
no,
Like,
I don't think y'all realize how bad Jamal Bryant is. Jamal Bryant is awful.
I know, but then people are also talking about that as well. So everybody has got baggage that everyone is talking about. So why should Monique be immune to it?
I didn't
I'm
say
not.
she should be immune to it. I just
here's
say
a
Giselle needs to stop always being in the middle of people who she don't likes business because the way Monique runs her hands, if you push her, you might get popped too.
I tell you, Giselle will pop her right back.
I
That's the
doubt it.
difference between
I
Giselle
don't
and.
think so.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
don't think so.
Janelle's not that girl. Janelle's not
I
that
think she
girl.
would as a
No.
reflex. I don't.
Here's
She's
my
not.
thing
I
though.
agree. She's not that. She's not someone to instigate a fight. But I don't think you would hit Giselle and she would just stand still. I
This,
don't think so.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. What people keep glossing over this major fact is the frustration with Monique to Candace is this. So after they fell out, you fall out fine, whatever. Candace went out of her way to befriend Charisse. That is the start of the issue, and no one's acknowledging that because they were
Yeah.
super close
Mhm.
friends.
But
They were
Jamal,
super close. Like they even
they
said, like they were like
grow.
sisters. Hold on, let me finish. No, let me finish though. Let me finish though. So Candace, after they fell out, Candace went out of her way to befriend someone that you do not like. Now, would I care personally? Not really, because all I do once I'm done with you, I just block your number. You don't exist. If I see you, I just walk by you. But then again, no one can hurt you like someone you love. So that's the beginning of the issue, and everything just kind of snowballed from there. Had they just took a break from each other, came back, tried to go through mediation, if it doesn't work, cool. I don't do you, you don't do me, and then this fight would have never
Exactly.
happened.
I feel they didn't need to go to court to begin with. They should have gone to just mediation or arbitration, and it would have worked fine, and Candice would have gotten her way. If at the end of the day she would have just calmed down and decided to go to mediation rather than going to court. Because when you go to court and you're saying you want the court to exert its full uh, power, you are opening yourself up to a bit of scrutiny, which is why most people would rather go into mediation or arbitration rather than go to court, because you don't want to get into that scrutiny because you're talking about someone's character and not just away from the fight. It's about someone's character and you're trying to separate someone from a family, and this is someone who has a newborn child. So again, I say they should have just gone to mediation. She could have gotten her way. If it was money, she could have gotten the money and whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but can we just say that if you look at it from Candace's perspective, right? Monique beat her up. And then they all had this meeting at Karen's house where Monique said she doesn't have any remorse for beating her up. And of course, Robin comes over and tells Candace that. Monique hasn't reached out to Candace, hasn't apologized, hasn't tried to fix it. You're sitting here, you're hearing that this girl is going around bragging about the fact she beat you up. You look on social media and she's bragging about the fact she beat you up. You're just gonna think that she's making a mockery of you, and you're gonna get even more fired up. I think that if Monique had approached Candace sooner, she wouldn't have gone to court. I think her ego was bruised. She was physically bruised. Her wig was bruised. Everything.
Can we talk about the wig? Can she have
Pearl.
the wig in the trash
Pearl.
afterwards?
Yes.
Hey, Pearl, I have a question for you. Have
Never.
you ever been in a fight?
Oh, shout out to you.
I think that's why. I think that's why I would say.
Okay. Hold on. Let me finish. Because here's my whole thing. Have I been in a fight or two when someone's put their hands on me? Yes. They got what they got, and I'm gonna leave it there. So, and I have never felt any kind of remorse for whooping somebody's behind who I felt deserved it. And I've never met someone right after a fight whooped somebody's behind and felt bad about it. And so people run around here talking about, well, Monique didn't feel remorse. It was like a week later, she was still mad.
Monique was wrong because she should have never. Monique, if it had been defensive, I would have been for it. But you don't start and knocking the girl. You have to. If she hit you first,
I'm not arguing that. I'm not arguing that, but I'm saying Monique felt Candace deserved it. Monique was not remorseful right afterwards. So I'm not going to get mad at somebody right afterwards not being remorseful. Now, if this were like 2-3 months down the line, you should have some remorse. As an adult, you should be able to reflect back and say, you know what? I overreacted. I shouldn't have punched this little girl in the back of her head and pulled her wig.
Let me throw something out there, though. Okay, so after the fight, we've got both sides set up. Candace's attorney and his initial contact to the Samuels. Mm-hmm. I had a problem with that because it immediately started out with regards to monetary damages. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that can also impact the Samuels' reaction from that initial request. So then, of course, the Samuels attorney is going to say nothing. No contact. Let me handle this from here.
Mm-hmm. I think Candace shouldn't have gone for a criminal case, and she should have just gone for a civil case and let her pay her $100,000-$200,000 for getting her wig.
And also the other thing about a fight. I have been in a fight before. Because I don't know how to use my words. I do not know how to argue. I was brought up with boys. I'm the only girl. I don't know how to use my words. I'm sorry. I've been in a fight before. Immediately after you have a fight and a few weeks into it, you're still amped up. You have adrenaline going on and you're thinking, if this person comes to me again, I'm ready to go round 2. And you're thinking of how maybe I didn't whoop them on the head. Instead, next time I know what I'm going to grab and what I'm going to do. I'm sorry to shock you, Debbie. Right. I'm sorry. So you're plotting in your head what you would have done or could have done better, right? Then a few months or a month later or a few weeks later is when you're like, okay, now I'm calm. Then I'm thinking, why was I fighting with that person? It's because they called me stupid, but I know I'm not stupid. So that was a stupid fight. So I need to reach out to this person and apologize. But the moment I'm still amped up and you're sending a lawyer my way, instead of even sending a friend, there is no way I'm apologizing because now I'm also going to look for my lawyer and I'm thinking if I find you in the streets with my friends, we are taking you down. So there's no way at any point, both of you are actually acting from a very emotional point. You're not acting from a rational point. That's what you need to remember. Candice was bruised, her ego was bruised. Monique was very amped up and her ego was also way above there. So there's no way you will tell these two people that they need to calm down and rethink it. So what these people are thinking in their head is, when is the next fight? So when you know you don't know how to fight, now you go the legal way. When you send a lawyer to me, I'll be like, it's cool. I have a lawyer too, and maybe mine is better than yours. So let's do it. You know?
That's so funny. I'm gonna read that. I don't fight. My
That's
mouth
fair.
has caused me to run away exactly once. LOL.
So, yeah, that's what I think. And I
Yeah, I mean,
feel
like, people are like,
I would
unless
say, Paul,
right.
please don't be someone. Please continue the way you are. You're nice. Don't be like the rest of us ratchet people who don't know how to fight with our mouth.
No. That's not true. Because if somebody throws
No,
their hands on me, we're fighting. Ain't no calm down or nothing. You
yeah,
put like if she had touched my hair,
because
we would have been swinging.
to me, the thing is, I agree with Bob. My thing is that, like, verbally, I can get you to go with my mouth, and it's not a problem. And I've made people cry just my mouth alone. But the people in question put their hands on me, and when I tell you get away from me, don't come near me, and I'm backing up, and you put your hands on me, I'm like, you got what you got. So it
Um,
is what it is, and that's just where I come from. You don't when people back. I'm from the Bay Area, so we back away. Like when we get amped up, we kind of back away because we know how the police are around here. It is what it is. But when you come towards somebody and they're backing, once you put your hands, it's over. It's a wrap.
Let me tell
You
you what.
you just got what you got, and then people here take the L
And
though. People
yes,
here take the L.
Jamal, I agree with you. Once you know the type of person you are, for example, I know I cannot do confrontation. I would walk away. I would rather look like a fool and apologize to the person to avoid that confrontation, because I know myself. I know when we get to words, I'm not good, and I'll be swinging before you speak. So I will say sorry to this person, yeah, and walk away.
But
but
guys, can I just ask one thing, guys? Do you feel that I feel like we've kind of normalized physical abuse in a way? I mean, I'm not, don't take this wrongly, but I feel like it's just become like we use it very freely in our language. Oh, I'm going to beat you into next Tuesday or whatever. But I think that it's just become so normalized in every society that we don't actually see that it's wrong anymore. Does anyone feel that way? Because if I want to go back
I
to
We
feel
might.
Jamal,
I feel what you're saying,
No,
but and the hair would have been a problem because it takes too long to do my hair, especially as much as a wig costs. Yes, we would have had to throw hands because my hair is part of my body. If you snatch my hair, you can snatch my scalp. Yes.
I think we've taken
Pearl.
emotions out of the word fighting. Like if it's the two of us and we are at par, then people just think, those ones are just squaring out. It was not physical abuse, right? But if it was a man laying his hands on me, then it becomes physical abuse. So I think we have dehumanized the whole idea of fighting to the basic levels of it has to be a man beating a woman. And sometimes you can see in public a lady slapping a gentleman, and no one thinks that's wrong. So we have moved away from making it any sort of violence being a problem
men
to
definitely.
specific types of violence being problems.
Correct. And you have to use, oh, sorry. You
Also, I
have
think
to
what
use the right.
I think
Go,
also
Jamal.
what let me thank you. I mean, I think what it is, Pearl, is that for some reason people want to act like, oh my god, I would never get in a fight. I've never been in a fight. Blah blah. Like it's like a better than when most people I think grew up maybe in areas where fighting was a little bit more prevalent than what's let on. So that's why for me myself, where I grew up, it's just like it wasn't like out of the ordinary to see two people on the street corner fighting. It just wasn't because someone got disrespectful, they squared up, someone got knocked down, and it is what it is. So I think and I also agree with whoever said like it was more now when we think of fighting and abuse, it's more a man to a woman. I think that's what it really is. I,
And
I
that
can go
Jamal
with that as
reminds
well.
me of a Swahili saying that says, wapiganao ndio wapatanao, which means those people who fight are the ones who will come at a par and agree with each other. So we need to square out so that we both have respect for each other if we were having some type of problem.
Listen, I don't believe in violence in certain aspects. I don't believe if somebody says something smart to you, you should smack them. Like I thought the whole Portia
No.
and Kenya thing was ridiculous simply because she was screaming in Cynthia's
Yep.
ear, and I don't think Monique should have hit her because Candace didn't put her hands on you. But once you put your hands on me, you're doing something that's very disrespectful to me, and you can't disrespect me and disrespect me to use my words. That's not going to happen.
That's why everyone reacted so
Right.
much when Monique put her hands in Candace's hair. That's
Mhm.
why everyone was like, "Oh, okay, this is now getting
Yeah.
too serious," because that was the point that the line
Yeah.
was crossed. Was not before she pulled that flipping of her hair. You're right. It's completely disrespectful.
Yes,
It's so
and also,
belittling, like a. But,
and
yeah.
also remember when Giselle put her hand on Monique, like pushing her back not to fight. Monique was not seeing that it was Giselle or it's someone else trying to stop her from fighting. In her mind, she was like, "Oh, this young lady has put her hands on me, and we're just about to square it down."
Do you think that Monique actually felt that? I don't think Monique felt
No.
anything.
I
I
would
think
love.
she was zoned in.
I don't think
On
so.
Candace. You could have punched Monique at that point. She wouldn't have felt it. She
I
was
would have
zoned in
loved
at
to.
like a predator and a prey.
I would
What
have
was
I,
that,
I
loved to
Angela?
see.
Go
I
ahead,
would have
Angela.
loved to see. Uh, uh, Monique turn around and do that to Giselle.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Take it out on the people that are really,
yeah.
getting under your skin. Don't
Um,
take it on the weakest person.
Right.
I think.
But in fairness, though, Giselle doesn't give you an opportunity. Like Giselle, she has the kind of mouth that's like on the edge. Like she's shady, but she never really says anything to where you just like pop her
But
in the
you know what?
mouth
I have a
justifiably.
solution. Ready? The solution. Candace
Cancel the
needs to
show.
go to Billy boot camp and get some of that boxing in her. And Monique needs to go down to the House of Reeds and start learning how to read and roast because you can't be on reality TV and not know how to do that.
True. I agree with the
That's
Bobby
true.
on that one.
Oh,
Call
yeah.
Phaedra. Call
Yeah.
Phaedra up. Get some lessons. Like we got Zoom. Like you can do some Zoom lessons. Like this is how you do it. Blah 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 blah. Yada yada yada. Because like people don't understand. It's not that hard to
It
read
is hard,
somebody.
actually,
It's just
Jubal. I
all a
can't read
read
anybody.
is. Is it?
It's
Is it?
simple. A read is simple.
It's just
only the truth, but it's broken down in a way
Truth.
somebody can't deny it. That's all. it is.
Oh my God.
Mhm.
That's a
Easier
testimony.
all
said
it
than
is.
done.
That's all it is.
Since I
Because
got in a wheelchair, I only have. Since I was in a wheelchair, that's the only way I can fight. By reading.
Aw. We don't want you fighting, Angela. No fighting for you.
But like, yeah, it's just like you have to be on a reality TV show. You have to be able to use. I agree with a lot of Kohar. You have to be able to use your words and use them effectively. Like if you really think about it, Candace cannot read. Candace just insults people because her insults are intelligent. Like a read is something that is an intelligent, shady
yeah, because
truth. That's all it
the
is.
best at it at
Candace
this
can't
show.
do that. Oh, Karen's the hands down. It's not even.
I think Candace is good.
She's
I
the
think
queen
Candace
of
is
reads.
good at reading, unless I'm missing what reading means.
Okay,
Candace,
a
Candace
read is
insults
different. And see, this is why I don't like Kenya because she always runs her mouth. But you need to have when you read, then you need to have the receipt.
Mhm.
The read and the receipt, and they go hand in hand. So when you read somebody, so a read would be like, "Oh, that's why your man is like the Lisa Nicole thing was perfect." Oh, you think I need to do better? Well, your man hears all the time. Oh, really? And then the receipt is a good read. But when you go ratchet and there's no receipt, then that's not a read.
Eva was a good reader.
Who?
Eva.
Yeah, she had her moments.
Even
Yeah.
was.
Especially with
moments.
Marlo and the wig
Yeah.
and the whatnot.
I think
Marlo
that's
was
the
the
only
best.
time that she was good. Was when she was going after Marlo.
Yeah.
Because Eva would always try to play like, oh my god, I've evolved, I'm doing better, I'm not the same old Eva the diva. Like she really tried to play that role like to the hilt. It wasn't working, so she had it from Marlo, so she just went in.
Marlo went for her though. Marlo came
Only
as
reason.
first,
Mm-hmm.
and
She did.
and she
Oh,
went, she
all the
gave
time.
it straight back to Marlo. I think that Atlanta just did Eva did fans this justice by not showing us more of a storyline with Eva, because I think she had a lot going on with that baby daddy and everything else. But again, maybe because it's a minor and they don't want to discuss it. But
There was open. Well, there was
Yeah, there's some
also
mental
open
health issues
litigation as
there.
well.
But you know what? I've decided I'm going to watch Real Housewives of Atlanta.
No.
No. Simply because I can't do Salt Lake City no more. So we have to talk about something.
By the way, I've got a lot to say about Salt Lake City on Thursday, so or Friday. When is it?
I think it's Friday. Jamal and I have to discuss this week because of the holiday. It's kind of screwy.
And then Salt Lake City already had Salt Lake City episode 3.
Oh, we can go over it again.
As well with season.
Yeah.
We can go over it
Okay,
again.
so
But I have to rewatch it.
I watched.
I mean, Salt
Okay,
Lake City
so for everybody that didn't watch the video, I just want people in the comment section to tell me what you thought about Mary's Kitchen. That's what I what you think about Mary's Kitchen when you saw it in episode 3.
Blondie not letting that kitchen go.
Do you mean the back of her head?
No, her kitchen. When she was in the kitchen with her husband and her son. What did you think of that kitchen?
Oh my God.
I didn't pay attention.
And you see, that's her point. It wasn't notable. It needed a remodel. It wasn't fantastic.
I couldn't get past her grandfather sitting on,
That was
sitting
her
on the
grandmother's
stool.
kitchen. That was her grandma's kitchen. Remember that? It's her
That
grandma's
was her
husband.
grandpa sitting there.
Oh my God.
Especially for someone who has to wait for her Chanel jacket to come in before she goes for skiing.
Listen, she rented that jacket. She was waiting for it to come from wherever she rented it. It still had the label on the back, and she had to package
You
it back.
saw that too. She showed up with the damn label on the back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it wasn't just me. It wasn't just me. Okay, I thought
She
it was
was
just
going
me.
to
I'm like,
return it
label?
after that ski trip. That's why she didn't go skiing. She just
And
wore it
that ski trip
at
was
the
hilarious.
bottom.
I was going to be in Utah and go on this show and can't even do the baby slopes. That was embarrassing. I was like, y'all should have just been in the lodge like I do when I go to ski trips.
I'm telling you, she didn't want to get the outfit dirty. That's why she didn't go down the slope.
If you don't cut off the tag, you can return it.
There they go. It needs help like Karen's Kitchen in season 1.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay, guys, we're going to wind this up because we went over as usual. You know, we have no sense of time on this show. But
Zero.
we will be on tomorrow, right, Jamal?
Tomorrow we should be, because look, most of the shows are following their own schedule with no adjustments as of yet. So basically, what we're gonna do is post day by day for everyone on IG, and we'll have the schedule up as well.
Right,
but
so
far, so
tomorrow.
TLC Tuesday.
Family Chantel.
Oh, speaking of,
TLC
do you
Tuesday.
know 90 Days is still not done? I thought this was the season.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I know.
This is the season that's lasting forever.
But the new season's coming on the 6th, so that's 2 or 3 weeks from now. Are they both going to be on the same time?
No, I think it will be done by then.
Yeah, I think next week's show is the last, and then I guess they're going to have a reunion or
I'm
something.
not going to lie to you. I watch Pillow Talk when I talk about it because I can't go through the hour.
Yeah, the 2 hours is
the 2 hours, right?
2 hours.
I watched this episode and I have a couple of notes.
Okay, so that and the Family Chantel, your Below Deck is gone off, right?
I think we've gone off Below Deck.
Okay,
that's what I feel. I really did try.
Can I ask one
then
question?
Mama's Boy, you didn't do that.
We can do Mama's Boy
tomorrow, right?
Mama's Boy was yesterday, but we could talk about it if you guys watched it.
No, I didn't watch it yet.
I watched it and
I
I feel like
one question.
Who had the question? Pearl, was that you?
Yeah, just one question about Salt Lake City, right? Just one thing. So Jen is the one married to the black guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Jen has like 7 people that do her hair and makeup and dress her up, right? So isn't her husband
Yeah.
just a college football coach?
Oh no, that's money here. That's money here.
Yeah,
That's
that's
money.
money in Utah.
That's money
super
here.
Who?
That's
money
like
in
2
Utah.
million a year. Yeah.
That's status too.
Sorry, I can't hear you guys and breaking up.
I said it's money here. It's like $2 million a year.
So how is she affording all this stuff?
She has her own company as well. She has like
Does
a couple
she?
businesses she runs as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
That's
don't.
his
I don't
money.
even.
Uh-huh.
Sorry.
She has a marketing firm, which
Well,
also
did
does.
they? Sorry, go on, Gatatura. Sorry.
So I'm saying she has a marketing firm, which I think she also does events. Then also the husband earns good money because apparently being a coach is good money.
Well,
Mm-hmm. In
I
Utah,
thought
definitely.
that because that was the same thing that people said about what's her name? The one in Sharice in Potomac, that her husband really didn't have a lot of money because he
Oh.
was just a coach and not a basketball player, and she was trying to.
Oh, is it? They're talking. Oh,
So I
sorry.
was I
Go
thought
ahead.
that
Sorry.
I got the impression that because over here in Europe the football coaches earn a lot of money, like a lot of money, and I got the impression that a coach in America doesn't earn that much as the players and stuff.
Okay, I can explain that.
So, okay.
Yeah, I can explain that. So here, the disparity in basketball, there's a huge disparity between coaches' salaries and players' salaries. The average player salary, there's a big disparity. So yeah, like he makes good money, but he's not NBA player level money. Where in European football, I understand, the coaches and players' salaries in some cases aren't the disparity is not as great as in American basketball.
Well, let's not forget
You know what I mean?
a major part of that salary discrepancy with regards to what's her name, Cherie's husband. They were going through a divorce, and he is going to downplay any salary because she was asking for support of a champagne room that she could afford.
Well, but too,
She was though. She had to support the champagne room though.
Your football would be like our baseball. Baseball is where the money is in America. They have those $100 million contracts like you do in your soccer, so that would be the equivalent.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Football would be like rugby, I guess, like the salary. The football salary is different because you're paid based on if, like basketball, if you get hurt, you still get paid. In football, it's not like that.
American football.
American football.
Yeah.
American football.
Okay.
All their money is wrapped up into bonuses and player incentives. Very little.
If you're trying to be a gold digger here, you go after baseball players. They make good money. They have a long season. You know, you could spend.
They don't get hurt.
They don't get hurt as much, and when they do, they want to go right back to. You know, they take care of themselves.
Good to know, Barbie. Good to know.
Yeah, never go after
did
an
they mention-
American football player because there's too much brain damage going on there. That's
Sure.
a whole nother kettle of fish.
And baseball players, I mean, you could live in peace. You get pregnant, he's on the road all the time. You just have to see him, 3 months a year?
Oh Lord.
Okay, guys, so let's wrap this up. Ablavi, any final words on how to catch a professional athlete?
Okay, yeah. So for people who are trying to catch a professional athlete, the best place to catch them is at a sports bar, surprisingly, and the gym. I've talked to a few at my local Equinox. They're pretty stupid, so they're a very good cash up if you want, particularly the football. Hockey is good too, but I just can't play this. I can't go to a hockey game. It's just too boring. But the one who will spend money on you is a baseball player, because I have a friend who got a Ferrari from dating a baseball player. So they make money.
Is it better to meet them in season or out season?
You know what, Debbie? You have the best place to meet them because they have their preseason in Florida, and that's when you meet them. You meet them right before they go to the pros, or you meet them right when they're about to retire.
Sorry, is this football, basketball,
In Miami.
Baseball.
Baseball. So for baseball is Miami
Yeah.
does play. They have spring training, all that good stuff down there, and they're not fully into the season yet. So it's always either Miami or if you're on the
I
West
thought
Coast,
it was
it's
Tampa because it's
Scottsdale.
cheaper
That's
in
where you go.
Tampa, and there's more strip
No,
clubs.
They're at the
you
strip
meet
clubs
them.
too. They like to
Right.
golf. So get yourself a little golf
Yes.
membership.
Oh, I can
They-
go.
Yeah.
No, my breasticles get in the way. I can't swing.
Oh, that's even
Well,
better. You can just have a sports bra and have the titty showing.
okay, all right. Oh Lord, Blobby, we have to do a whole show on professional athlete snagging. Jesus,
Oh.
you are too much. I love it. Okay, Angela, any last thoughts for you?
I binge watched Miami this weekend, and it was awesome. I have no idea why it was canceled.
It was
Yeah.
canceled. I can say this: it was canceled due to the ratings were lower than they expected. Apparently, for season 3, the ratings went down towards the closer they got to the reunion. So they just felt the show wasn't working, so they canceled it. But the show itself, they just need to recast a few people, and it'll been
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
I
Yeah, it
liked it
was
a
a
lot.
good show.
yeah.
Gatatua, any final thoughts from you?
Yes, one is a question to Paul. So when are we making our trip, and where are we staying?
Where are we going? Miami.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm down. Let's go. Let's go.
Come down here during off season, and Blobby will give us all tips on how to find, hopefully, well off pro athletes.
Yes,
We
so
should
you
make
get
it
a
a
condo and a car, and then
Mhm.
let's go.
yeah, exactly. A cross
be a
country
minute.
trip.
Because who does not want a Ferrari?
Exactly.
I'll have to ask my
I don't.
husband for permission.
Don't worry, he doesn't have to know. He doesn't have to know.
And that I'm hoping also Candice was able to give us her hookup for her due for the week during the reunion. Because yeah, I've been walking on the streets and I'm looking kind of crazy because the wig don't move right and left, and then I'm like, okay, what happened? So I need to have that glue hookup at some point in my life if I'm coming down to Miami to get them,
That should be her next business. Oh my God. Pearl, my dear, any final thoughts from you?
Oh my god! I just want to say, like, I love you guys so much. Like, this is like my favorite channel right
Aw,
now.
thank you.
I just
Well,
love coming here and chatting with you guys about stuff. I learn something every single episode.
Aw, well, me too. Me too. We're a bit disorganized. We're very unprofessional, and we just like to shoot the shit.
That
So-
goes for me too.
Right.
Yay.
Love it. Love it.
All right, my friends, we will see you tomorrow, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. And
I have a question with that. Quick question.
Yeah.
Why have you, Debbie? So, does 1 o'clock work for you? Like, does this time
you
work
mean
for
tomorrow?
you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think this time seems to work better for all our subs. It seems like 1 o'clock. This seems to be like a lot more engagement, more people. So I kind of want to make it to where everyone can make it comfortably. So we could do 1 o'clock the same time tomorrow.
Well,
That'd be great.
welcome everybody to our staff meeting, and we've all decided that we're moving
Right.
the show
Welcome.
to 1
Can I ask
p.m.
a
Pacific.
Huh?
Yeah.
I mean, I love this. I love this time.
It's 1 o'clock my time right now.
Oh.
Yeah.
1 a.m.
Oh.
Holy shit.
Yeah, 1:30.
Oh.
And I don't mind it. So my question is, as long as you're making me laugh, because I might end up sleeping on all of you.
Well, as long as you're not fighting, we're okay.
Yeah. We have to do that dating show one day because of the neighbor. We have to do that because I saw him again today.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Remember I told you the married man one?
I remember that one.
Yes.
Yeah, he's my neighbor.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Oh.
That might be a Turkey Day special.
Oh my god! Speaking of which, I've got so many Tinder stories. You will not believe it.
Oh my
I know
lord.
how. I know.
Oh,
I know.
wow.
I have
Seriously.
some too.
Like the time I almost got scammed in Turkey. Oh God, I have to tell you that one.
What?
We gotta do that a separate day.
Oh my lord.
The funniest thing you ever hear.
Yes. We got Tinder scamming. We got
Yeah.
married men stories.
I
We
have
got a whole.
I have a
we got
family
whole.
member who's supposed to, not a family member, a family friend who's supposed to be like who literally grew up with the kids, and just the other day he was like, "Oh, you know, you're so pretty and whatnot," and I was like, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
Dropping bombs. Hi, Queen. Haven't
Hi,
seen you in
Queen.
so long.
Oh,
Okay,
gosh.
guys. Well,
Oh my
I'm going to
goodness.
drop you guys
All right,
down
guys.
and we will see you tomorrow at some time. Just
Yeah.
turn on your reminders and you'll see us, okay?
All right.
Bye.
guys.
Bye.
All right, guys. Bye.
Jamal. What's going on?
Hey.
Yay!
What? We did
And
it. This was so much fun. My camera just went out on
That's
me, so I just
okay.
rolled with it. My avatar is
If you
cute,
say
so it's
so.
fine. Hey, it's cute. It's cute. It's
All right,
cute.
my
That's what I'm
friends.
going
So we will get together again. Huh?
with. Are we done?
No, we're not done.
Are we
I
done?
haven't turned on the music. We'll get together
Done?
again tomorrow.
That's what
Chat
I'm
with you
wondering.
soon. Thanks everybody for
Oh
joining
yeah.
us. Bye.
Bye, guys.